Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages and denominations, welcome to Off the Top Rope, the wrestling show that keeps you in the know. Now, once again, I'm going to say to you, our social medias are right there for you. WAWSA on Facebook and TikTok and Instagram, and of course, Mpuma Kappa TV on YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook. And of course, follow your boy, the Loudmouth, on the Loudmouth Appreciation Society, wherever you get your good social media. Lastly, I would like to just thank everybody for allowing me to have this time. It allows me to bring you local talent from Nelson Mandela Bay. What we are going to be doing for the next few weeks is we are going to be interviewing some of the potential wrestlers that are coming from right here in the Bay. One of those wrestlers is, of course, with us, Scott Mercer. Scott, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Scott, our introduction to you comes a little bit differently than some of the other wrestlers because you were involved in what many call backyard wrestling.
No, it's definitely backyard wrestling, and I'm proud of it.
Tell us a bit about that.
Well, it all started, I met a friend who was going to college with my ex-girlfriend at the time, and he was just recording other things, like just before even their YouTube. They were just recording clips on mattresses, me and my other friend. Him and my other friend who became my friend. Oh. Sorry about that. They were recording, not doing much, and they danced to the idea of uploading onto YouTube. And then I saw what they were doing, just their random clips they had already made, and that just looked like so much fun. Right. So again, just mess around, do some moves on some mattresses in the backyard, have some beers afterwards. Hell yes.
Okay.
And then we eventually started uploading, and then we tried to actually have proper characters in as well as storylines.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now that a lot of people tend to look down on backyard wrestling and backyard wrestlers and things like that. You told me off air that it's something you're very, very proud of.
Of course I am. I had no other way to do wrestling, and this was a way to do wrestling. And it was a bit sloppy. Obviously, it wasn't formally trained. We didn't really know how to chain wrestle, but we did move safely. We planned out our stuff, and we're still proud of the product we did. And we got, I think, pretty decent views. I think our highest viewed video was 2,800, which isn't bad for a little backyard thing.
Right.
In
PE. Okay. So then, how did you come across WAWSA or professional wrestling in Port Elizabeth?
I was in primary school with Tristan. Right. And I wasn't into wrestling at the time. I only got into wrestling in my early teens. Mm-hmm. So in primary school, I just knew Tristan had something to do with wrestling. I know his dad owned it. I'd often see posters at the school and stuff. I just always knew, okay, Tristan, wrestling. And then him and I went to different high schools. And then I think I was following him on Facebook, mm-hmm. and he uploaded something about wrestling. And I saw it was a real ring with actual budget, and he had an actual costume, and he was actually a wrestler in PE. Right. So I messaged him, and he ghosted me. Okay. And then I followed, when it was still CPW, followed them on Facebook, all that, and I realized, okay, Tristan's dad owns it, and I emailed him. I went straight to Big Daddy. All right. And okay. I sent him a link to my YouTube as well. Mark Beal watched it, and then he said, okay, well, let's get you training with Tristan. And that was before we even set up the ring that we're training in now. Tristan and I were on a few just pads, and he was, I guess, I don't know if I was Tristan's first student, but we started training, then we got other people in, and now it is where it is now. But I've been very on and off, unfortunately. So
okay, so basically training on the mats there was more at home to you than actually training in a professional wrestling ring.
Yeah, I think definitely it was a bit more comfortable, a bit thinner than a mattress, but not like I was taking bumps or falling much. It was just to get me naturally, like actually like doing the I had to be trained from the ground up again with Tristan, obviously, not just going straight into a move, suplex, super kick, suplex, super kick. It was actually learning the fundamentals and the groundwork, and then it was close to home in a backyard on some padding. Okay.
And then from there, you mentioned that your training has been on again and off again and things like that. Obviously, there's extenuating circumstances. We understand that these things happen. But now that there's a plan going forward in terms of wrestling, how we want to do it in Port Elizabeth and things like that, do you think it's more important for you now to stay the course than it is for you to maybe go to your backyard roots?
Oh, no, definitely. I don't think I'm ever going to drag mattresses out of the old Wendy house again and mount a camera on an old mat set on a rock and record and edit ever again. I think that's behind me. Mm-hmm. It's a different Sebastian. I like to think of it, in backyard wrestling, I was called Ghost, and I think he is a ghost of my past now. Right. Okay. I want to move forward, big time, big leagues and all that. So it's something I hold fondly, my backyard wrestling, but I don't think I'm ever going to go back to it. There's no point. I mean, I was a teenager then, or early 20s then. I think I'm an adult now, so I'm gonna treat this more seriously.
Yeah. It's funny that you say that you're an adult now. Yet when we get into the wrestling ring, we have more fun. We have the more childish fun than you do with the backyard wrestling, because I watched some of the clips and we'll show you guys some of the clips. But you seem to take it a lot more seriously than the training that you're doing now.
Well, everything you see in the backyard, that was me in character. That was me performing. That was me for my audience. We're recording it. We have the benefit of having a camera on us, so we can always pause and redo stuff. But that is me in character. That is me That is me being not me anymore. That's Sebastian Ghost. And then in training, it is still training. I'm not tapping into my more persona side. I'm having fun while I learn, because at heart I want to have fun. This is a fun environment. I'm with fun people as well. So yeah, but it doesn't mean. But once I'm actually in front of a crowd, I'm going to be 100% more serious. I'm going to be full on persona, not just messing around and joking. Right.
I get you. Now, we do have one of those clips up here, and after the break, we are going to break down one or two of the clips. But I do want to say this, and to people out there, some people have an idea what backyard wrestling is. You're not going to see barbed wire and going through tables and all of that. You're going to see a very stripped down type of version of backyard wrestling, but you're also going to see something that is a lot of fun. And for you guys out there that are serious wrestling enthusiasts, for what it is, it's a lot of fun. So we are going to give out the URL for the old page and everything like that. But after the break, we're actually going to show you some of those highlights. So stay tuned, and we're going to show you something super extraordinary. Be back soon. Guys, welcome back to Off the Top Rope, the wrestling show that keeps you in the know. Boy, do we have a surprise for you. Now, our in-ring guest here, Scott Mercer, has how can I say it, an involved passion for professional wrestling. He did something, and I think it is fantastic, guys. I know some people can be judgmental about professional wrestling and take professional wrestling very seriously. This is the time where you just need to, just suspend belief for a bit. I would like the control room to queue up one of your backyard matches, Scott. Now, we were talking about the backyard wrestling and things like that. We were talking off air a bit about your views and things like that. How popular was this?
Well, we at a stage we had like in the span of like 3 months, we had a few videos that were breaking 2,000 views. We also had people across the world DMing us wanting to join, even though we're just in a small city in South Africa. Right. And we had to tell people, we're not in America. We're not anywhere near where you are. It's like, remember one guy said in an email, I'm a 6'8" native. He said how many pounds he weighed. He's like, how can I join? Where are you guys? Oh, well, like other side of the world, my guy. But I don't know. You can rock up. That's exactly what he said. How can I join? I was like, we don't really know. And then I had people DMing me on Instagram, asking when the next video is up and suggesting moves they want me to do. And there was one guy, I can't remember his name now, but we deleted his comments because he just made demands like, oh, I want to see Ghost do a pile drive and then stand on Julian's head and pin him.
Wow.
And then I was like, I'm not going to stand on my friend and get the pin. But a few matches later, I did actually stand on him and taunt.
Yes.
And then Julian kicked out. I still pointed at the camera, and I really hope that Oak saw. It's like, hey, he did the thing I asked. So we did try to please the fans. I'm not going to win a match disrespectful like that, because it was only the three of us, so we had to keep each other all pretty well protected.
All right. What's this now? Ghost versus Boland. No, who's that?
That's Julian Boland with the bleach hair. Right. That's Ghost. I was the longest reigning champion at the time.
Still not in good shape.
Not in good shape. No, this was also COVID, so like this was like I learned how to make brownies, and the gym memberships were closed down. So
I get you. As you can see there, guys, specially made mat, specially made ring just for this contest. So this, I'll be honest with you. Sometimes I do miss wrestling on mattresses and things like that. For the ring can get pretty hot. Ooh, and
nice. You're very careless.
Why did you do that?
I don't use the thing. He did the neck breaker.
No, you did the neck breaker.
No, you did it to me.
Oh. Poor elbow.
Poor elbow. Like it destroyed all the joints. That was a really hard mattress. You wouldn't believe it.
It looks nice. It looks nice and soft. So do you, by the way. You look nice and soft as well.
I think I was probably weighing at like 89 kgs here. I'm 94 now, so I'd actually like to size old me up. wrestle him.
Wrestling, yeah. Okay, so you and Julian, it's during COVID time, so you guys are just putting this thing together. They're not choked, by the way.
Thank you. Yeah, this was, as you can see, we also social distance a bit.
Yeah, no, the social distancing is definitely there in COVID.
It's okay, we're both vaccinated.
Oh my goodness, your kicks are still poor.
Yeah, I was selling the choke you did on me. That was one of the signatures.
Oh, right. Okay, Sally.
The powerbomb point.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. Unfortunately, the only wrestler you can really throw around like this is Starman. You know, he's probably you know that size, but you know, not look for backyard wrestling and not being a trained professional and things like that, and just watching what you see on TV, not really that bad.
None of us ever got injured. We never had like a really like bad injury. One time Julian got a nosebleed mid-match, but that was because he gets nosebleeds.
Fair enough.
I thought I caused him to bleed, but then he was like, oh no, people died in the match. Looks pretty cool.
Fair enough.
That was the most injury.
I want to point out to the people here, notice the kick pads, if you will, because the kick pads are very noticeable there. Julian has no legs whatsoever, and those kick pads just look like cricket pads on him.
Oh, shame.
No disrespect, Julian. I'm actually loving what you guys are putting together here. It's actually quite fun. You know, putting in the Insta graphics here and everything like that. Man, it's really
Angle
good.
slam. I don't know if you know, I also have kick pads on, but I had black stockings over them, so it just looked like one outfit.
Oh no, I just thought you had freakishly weird legs.
Yeah, those are tumors growing on me.
That you've had them removed. This is actually quite interesting. Now, obviously, you know, once again, we do not advocate doing wrestling at home. We're trained professionals.
Yeah, I didn't do this at home. I did it at a friend's house.
Yeah, well, there we go. If you're going to do that, do it at a friend's. No, don't try this at home.
No.
But man, I'm actually, you know what? People kind of poo-poo on this thing because people watch backyard wrestling in the States,
like trampolines or something.
and it's barbed wire and it's in junkyards and it's things like it's really trash, and I don't like that type of backyard wrestling. But I must admit, I'm actually getting quite a kick out of this wrestling, man. And you know, wrestling sometimes doesn't have to be serious.
No, it doesn't. No. And we played in the fact that we are on mattresses. Like we didn't try to hide the fact and pretend it was like a hard structure or something. But we did try to sell and keep our moves like let's have some so things have weight. We tried to plan. It wasn't just a move stamp fest, is what I need to say.
Yeah.
We tried to have like, okay, now I've got him down. He had his comeback over. It's the gray spots, if you will.
Yeah. But watching this and knowing what you know now about professional wrestling and things like that, would you go back and look at this match and say, okay, I could have done this better, I could have done that better, we should have done this there instead of doing this there and things like that? Has pro wrestling like changed the way you're watching this video now?
I would have definitely maybe started slower.
Yeah.
Even though we didn't necessarily start high pace, but I think I would have maybe had slow burns beginnings. Like I don't think maybe submission later on, I don't know, but definitely have a slower start. But also with the backyard, you can just kind of do so many more moves.
Yeah.
So we still sold the move at Impact, but we didn't have to sell as much as we would in an actual ring, because now you also are kind of like, I did just fall on a pretty hard like floor, so you want to sell a bit longer. But with this, you can kind of just get up again, so you have more will to, okay, well now I'm going to do 3 power bombs and a suplex combo to you.
Yeah.
And then you can kick out at 2, and then you can do some crazy shit to me.
Yes.
So I think maybe I would go into it a bit more methodical at first, but I would still embrace the fact that I can go a little bit crazy and almost arcadey with a lot of moves.
Oh, kicks out at the 2 there. My goodness.
That was very durable.
Blocking the knees there. I must admit, for this kid being as skinny as he is, he could actually make a pretty decent wrestler if he gets properly trained.
I honestly, like, Julian's moves were always well suited to him, and his moveset was also like I said, like just he knew what to do to not make himself look, not make it look goofy. He wasn't going to try to suplex us too much.
Yeah.
He would rely on a lot of things like the jumping elbows and satellite DDTs and stuff.
Right.
And his finisher was he called it the white rose, which is just a running knee when someone's in like a kneel position, like the punt kick, but a knee. So it was a very protected way to like. So if I took a running knee from someone, it's a running knee. There's no way to like say, oh, he's small, it shouldn't hurt.
Right. I noticed that now we're getting to the false finishes here. Right at the end. Still bad kicks. Showing a little bit of emotion in slow motion. Styles clashed. My goodness. Goes for the cover. 1, 2, 3. Oh, kicks up. The most protective move in professional wrestling, and he's kicked out. And he kicked out there. Come on.
Yeah, well, that was the ghost killer.
Come on.
That was my first ever finisher.
One.
But that finisher was done by now. Because we had already been feuding for a few months. So we kind of had answers to each other's moves and were becoming immune to each other's movesets. So we had to like break out new stuff to beat each other. Like he stood up after my one finisher to fall again, just to show that he's kind of getting stronger.
Right. Well, we unfortunately this match goes on for a little bit longer. But after the break, I really want to get into the minutiae of this, and then we've got a special message for you that we got from one of your friends. So, guys, please stay tuned in after the break. Something a little bit more exciting for you. Guys, welcome back to the show. Once again, we'll give you those social media cues right after the show. But we are still here with Scott Mercer. Guys, in the control room, I would like you to cue up the video that we've got a special message for our young, intrepid backyard wrestler.
And I've known Mercer for most of my life. We grew up together, and yeah, we grew up together watching wrestling. If we weren't watching wrestling, then we were playing the games on PlayStation, or we were wrestling each other, trying to kill each other, and all of that. And yeah, basically as we got older, I could see his passion for it was really starting to grow. He really wasn't wanting to settle down or anything. He really took it seriously. So as we got a bit older, he started a YouTube channel, MPW, which was like their backyard wrestling with him and his friends. And I mean, it was incredible what they did production-wise with what they had. It was actually really entertaining to watch. So I was always on that with him, and that always watching it, you know, and everything like that, having his back on that. And then you could see he grew out of it. He wanted more. He wanted to really push himself. He didn't want to just kind of do this thing. He really wanted to do the proper thing. And so I was ecstatic when I heard him telling me about going to boot camps and learning this and that. He would come back from these boot camps and tell me he's learned these moves. He wants to show me them. And it was like a full circle moment of the moves that we would see on TV. He's now showing me in person that he can do. I mean, it's incredible. Like, you love to see it, you know. So again, I was even more ecstatic when I found out now he's joining the bigger league of WAW. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, I'm so happy for him, and I'm excited to see what happens with someone with his passion to be nurtured in a league like that.
Been friends since preschool, so that was 5 years old. It's on like whatever before we like crashed into pre-primary.
Yeah.
Went to the same primary school, same high school. I call him my brother, and I don't say that because I like how it sounds. We may not be as passionate about the same things. Like he likes his stuff, I like mine, but we're always there to support each other, and that's such shame. Yeah, wow, I wasn't expecting that. Such nice words. It's so nice to have support like that, especially when you have something like wrestling, where some people just don't get it. It's nice to have someone who doesn't necessarily get it still get your passion and see that passion can't be for something dumb. You know, it has to be something important.
Right.
So getting encouragement like that from such a close friend is obviously the world to me. It's something, makes me excited to just keep on talking about it, keep on like growing, because I can only do so much for myself. It's nice to be able to show other people like, hey, look how far I've come.
Right.
And he said it best there, from the video games to doing it on a beanbag to me doing it in a backyard to now.
Right. So, you know, obviously, I asked this question of everybody. What is the end game of your training? Where is it that you would like to see yourself be in 5 years or 10 years from your professional career?
That's a good question. I like to take things as they come. I don't really have that many 5-year plans with things.
Right.
But when it comes to wrestling, I would like to be a mainstay on our local shows at least.
Right.
And that's not I'm not saying at least because that's like a small, easy accomplishment. That is a goal I'm happy to work towards. I don't really have the obvious. Okay, it's hard to say I'm going to be main eventing the biggest show in the world.
Yeah.
There's so many people saying the exact same thing. I would like to be a household name in my city.
Right.
And that I don't think that's a small dream either. I think that's a big dream. I think that's something obtainable and noble. And it's fun I'm enjoying my time getting there as well. I mean, we have a growing wrestling scene right now in South Africa, in PE especially, which is so awesome to see the Bay finally having something of our own. And I want to be at the forefront of that. I want to be on the posters. I want to be in the title scene. I want to be on posters that people say, oh, there's Scott Mercer.
Right.
I watched one of his matches a while ago, and now I see he's in a title match. I'm going to watch because of that. I want my own little home batch of local fans.
Right.
And that's all I can ask for right now. That's my 5-year goal, I'd say.
Okay. So some of the trainee guys made their debut at Wrestle Monster 6 this year. Is your goal, is one of the goals, to get to Wrestle Monster 7 where you make your debut in the Bay?
Of course, yes, definitely.
Okay.
100%.
Any particular opponent you would like to wrestle there? Not me. Don't.
I was going to ask how the schedule was.
Don't say me. Everybody wants to say me. Don't say me.
Okay.
Besides me.
This might sound a bit wild, but Mark Beal once said he might come out of retirement for me.
Right.
I think the first day I met him to talk about wrestling, we were at a coffee shop,
Right.
and he was talking to me, and he still said how many opportunities I could have, and he said I might come out of retirement one day, and maybe we have a match. I don't know if that was like a carrot over my head, but I'd be curious to see if he even remembers that, because that was a while ago now.
Right. Okay, but it's obviously stuck with you now.
Yeah, I mean, it was a crazy thing to hear this was my first interaction with him, and he's just talking to me about that. I was like, whoa, okay. Because obviously coming out of retirement is a big deal, and
Yeah.
I need to prove I'm worthy of that, obviously. But it'll be cool to wrestle the boss, I guess.
I guess. You obviously know that his pedigree and everything like that.
Yeah, no, he's a dynasty, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Any of those backyard moves you're gonna take out of the old cupboard there, dust off, and maybe hit Mark with one of them?
I should drag a mattress out to the ring. I'll bring my own Wendy house and crawl out of the Wendy house.
Yeah, there we go.
Maybe. That was a pretty cool move where it was a Canadian neck breaker.
Yeah.
I think Mark will be okay to take that. I think he'll be elated.
As a 62-year-old man.
Yeah, of course.
Okay,
of course.
fair enough. Okay. Well, we boss, you heard it here first, man. He's got your number there.
I have a conversation to have when I see him again.
Scott, thank you very much for coming on the show. We really appreciate you sharing that part of your history with us. And obviously, it's something to be proud of. Some people look down on it. I think it's fantastic. I think it's great. Now, thank you for sharing your passion with us. And keep training hard. We're going to push you to your limits, and we look forward to seeing some great things from you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for having me as well.
All right, guys, there we go. Loudmouth presents Off the Top Rope, uncensored, uncut and raw. Don't forget to follow us on all our social medias, Mpuma Kappa TV, WAWSA. All of these are on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, as well as the Loudmouth Appreciation Society on Instagram and Twitter. Thank you very much for joining us. From Scott and myself, uncensored, uncut, maybe backyard wrestling. Who knows?